Lost Mantle 2 radio play by Lewis Critchley. Scene 1, The Call to Adventure. In the shadowy corners of the pirate-infested port town, Baxter nursed a bottle of rum, drowning his sorrows ever since losing his beloved ship and wife, Maru. Little did he know, his uneventful life was about to be shattered. Another drink for a thirsty sailor. A cloaked stranger approaches, speaking in an ethereal tone.
Baxter, the time has come to embrace your destiny.
My destiny's at the bottom of the ocean with my ship. Piss off, mate. The stranger removes his cloak, revealing the wizened features of the legendary Elijah.
The mantle you once possessed, the miracle-working cloak of unimaginable power, has resurfaced. You must recover it before calamity befalls all realms.
You expect me to just drop everything for some musty old cloak? Elijah waves his hand, and a vision of a massive tsunami crashing over the port manifests.
Fail to heed my warning, and this terror shall be unleashed, a mere prelude to cataclysms yet to come.
Baxter stares, dumbfounded as the vision dissipates. All right, you mystic devil. Where do I start?
The quest begins in the forest of Hordor, where an ancient ally awaits.
Scene 2, The Supernatural Guide. Kai meditates within the mystical forest of Hordor when Baxter stomps in, shattering the silence. Kai? The hermit sorcerer.
I sense your skepticism.
You're gonna have to convince me this magical nonsense is worth my time. Kai smirks and waves his hand, transporting them instantaneously to a cliff overlooking the ocean. Baxter, stunned. Bloody hell.
You've glimpsed but a fleeting taste of powers you could wield with the mantle's return.
A massive serpentine shape breaches the waves, revealing itself as the dreaded Mersin the mermaid.
That ancient evil stirs, a mere harbinger of the dangers roused by the mantle's re-emergence.
I'm listening. Scene 3, The Road of Trials. And so began an arduous journey through perils untold, as Baxter and Kai sought the Lost Mantle. Their quest led them into craggy badlands where they faced... Pilot. I thought that madman was fish food years ago. The deranged pilot cackles, raising an undead army from the sands. Welcome to my playground of the dead fools. The mantle shall be mine. Kai brandishes his sword as skeletal warriors surge forward.
We cannot let him retrieve the mantle. Its power must not fall into unworthy hands.
The ensuing battle is chaos, tremors shaking the ground as Baxter and Kai push through the bony onslaught. Has that wretched cloak made everyone rupture-nutted?
You'll soon understand its terrible cosmic influence over the realms.
With Pilot's forces routed, they press on, drawing ever closer to their goal. Scene 4, The Descent. After traversing treacherous heights, our heroes plunged into darkness. An ominous cave network pointed the path ahead. Marvelous, underground tunnels. I can't think of anywhere I'd rather be. As if beckoned, a haunting melody echoes through the caverns. Mersin's ethereal voice calls.
Singing, treasures lie deepest for those brave enough to seek them.
The mermaid lures many to their doom with that accursed song. Steady your focus.
They delve inward, shadows flickering against the cavern walls. Abruptly, the path opens into a colossal grotto. What in the seven hells? Ancient mariners' wrecks lie scattered, their crews' waterlogged corpses strewn about as grisly warnings. A hulking figure emerges, part man, part sea monster wielding a trident. Mersin's soulless visage splits into a monstrous grin.
Such delicious treasures have graced my lair.
Her hypnotic eyes lock onto Baxter, who freezes, entranced.
But your friend carries my true prize. Surrender the shard!
Kai snaps his fingers, breaking Mersin's thrall as he produces a glowing crystal fragment.
This was never meant for your clutches, foul seductress.
With a bellow of fury, Mersin, attack! Scene 5, The Ordeal. Battle rages through the grotto as Mersin unleashes her wrath, seawater whipped into lancing jets by her magic.
The shard will complete my dominion over the ocean's depths. Yield.
Baxter and Kai dive for cover as a torrent slams into the cavern wall, showering them with shrapnel. You couldn't have just given her the bloody rock. It's a key fragment allowing Mersin to access the mantle's otherworldly resting place. We cannot falter. Merson rears back, conjuring a massive tidal surge. Kai raises his sword, gathering arcane energy until it shines like a miniature sun. With a battle cry, he unleashes a scorching beam of light that vaporizes the raging waters. Steam billows as the grotto falls silent. Just then the ground quakes violently as a gargantuan tentacle smashes through the rock. Of course she's got larger monstrosities to throw at us.
Hold fast, Baxter. I shall bind this horror.
Scene 6. The Reward. Spires of mystic force erupt from Kai's blade, lancing and ensnaring the colossal tentacle as Merson bellows in agony. With a sickening crunch, the appendage is severed, spraying viscous fluid across the cavern as the Leviathan retreats.
I'll have vengeance upon you, wretched mortals. None escape the depths forever.
With an anguished scream, she vanishes beneath the churning waves. Baxter risks a careful step forward. Is it over? From beneath the shipwreck, a soft glow beckons. As they brush aside the detritus, realization dawns.
The resting place, we've found it.
Illuminated by the scattered crystal shards, an ancient sarcophagus lies undisturbed for centuries. Its elaborate carvings depict the mantle's journey and power. Baxter cautiously runs a hand along its sculpted surface.
By the crimson seas, this is it then. This old coffin holds the key to saving everything.
Those keys shattered long ago, strewn across myriad realms by cataclysms past. But we've endured enough trials to have earned this reward. A vital step closer.
With a deep breath, Kai focuses his arcane senses and outstretches his palm. The sarcophagus lid creaks once, then explodes upward in a torrent of eldritch energy. Scene 7, meeting the goddess. Crimson fog roils from the shattered sarcophagus as a titanic figure coalesces. An armored feminine visage adorned with weapons and wings.
You dare profane my slumber, interlopers? I am Andrasta, guardian of the...
Spare the theatrics. You're the pitiful last line keeping us from the mantle.
Andrasta's eyes smolder in outrage, wings flaring.
Such arrogance shall be punished, child.
Her sword comes alive, cleaving the air itself as she brings it down with apocalyptic force. Kai and Baxter narrowly avoid obliteration, the shockwave sending them tumbling across the grotto like scattered leaves. That was its bloody warning shot.
Stay focused. This is a battle for realities themselves.
With a resounding war cry, Andrasta turns her unholy onslaught fully upon them. Scene 8. The goddess revealed. Spells detonate across the grotto, eldritch lightning and profane kinetic bursts clashing in a maelstrom of cosmic forces. Andrasta unleashes a deafening shriek, manifesting prismatic lances that hurtle unerringly toward Baxter. Baxter dives wildly, feeling the blazing impacts scorch his back. He scrambles behind a wrecked hull, chancing a terrified glance at the towering goddess. How in the hells do we fight that?
She's not the destroyer she portrays, only a gatekeeper.
Her true form revealed by mystic blasts cratering her armor. Andrasta is little more than a tattered wraith. Kai's eyes go wide with revelation. Harnessing his power, he unleashes a disruption wave tearing through the goddess's dwindling protections.
No, you cannot.
Her cries turn to shrieks of terror as the wave intersects her false deity form, reducing her to motes of flickering essence that fade to nothingness. Baxter raises his hands defensively as the grotto falls into eerie silence once more. So, when you said gatekeeper... Kai approaches the sarcophagus, now fully revealed as an ornate portal swirling with incandescent energies. This was her true design, to guard the threshold, keeping the mantle shrouded. Baxter steps forward, a solemn look of awe marking his weathered features. Well, no more pretense then. After centuries, the veil's been lifted. Let's go bring that relic home. Scene 9. The Dark Truth. As Baxter and Kai step through the portal's luminous vortex, they find themselves amidst a realm of swirling celestial vastness. Strange worlds and planes litter the cosmic expanse. By the god, this is incredible.
Behold the metaverse, the infinite intersection of all realities. Tread carefully.
Ripples of distortion warp the celestial matter around them as Baxter stares, thunderstruck at the majesty engulfing them. Dark silhouettes gather, manifesting as malevolent entities crackling with rot and hunger. A booming voice erupts like shattering glass.
You dare trespass upon my demizen mortals. Know the price for seeking powers beyond your feeble ken.
Baxter spits a curse as the ravenous entities lash forward on tendril appendages. By the siren song, what fresh hell is this?
Kai raises his blade in a blinding arc, conjuring a prismatic barrier. The snarling entities recoil from its searing light.
That voice. We've awoken an ancient evil.
The celestial matter itself roils as a cyclopean form rends its way into reality. The progenitor, a gargantuan, ravenous elder presence. Its singular orb of malice glares balefully at them, heralded by gusting psychic screams.
I am the Agiradoth, the first primordial before reality splintered. You have violated my cosmic exile.
Kai braces, eldritch fire rippling along his blade, as the sheer primal terror radiating from the entity threatens to shatter their sanity.
You shall know the void beyond oblivion as I unmake your pitiful existences.
Its insatiable orb flares, cosmic forces gathering as it prepares to deliver unto them a dread annihilating finality. Scene 10. The Metaverse. Escape. As the Agiradoth rears to unleash total oblivion upon them, Kai's blade erupts with blinding azure brilliance. The cosmic shockwave ripples outward, sundering the progenitor's attack while opening a shimmering rift.
Through there now. I'll hold its attention.
Like hell you will, boy! He charges headlong toward the rift, grabbing Kai's arm and hurling them both bodily through the portal as the Agiradoth's insensate howls pursue them. They tumble through a violent surge of energy, snapping back into reality on an alien lavender-tinged shore. Baxter coughs out cosmic sea spray as Kai steadies himself. Please, tell me whatever fresh madness that was is behind us now. Kai shakes his head grimly as he studies their surroundings.
That was only the first of countless metaphysical barriers protecting the mantle.
He points to the violet sky where cosmic streamers bleed across the horizon amidst the twinkling of distant realms.
We're within the metaverse proper now. The Nexus realm from which all others spawn.
Baxter's eyes follow the stellar undulations, widening with slowly dawning comprehension. This prismatic sea I'm squatting on ... it, quote, S, no ocean. It's the infinite vastness of creation. Incredulous whisper. We've reached the edge of existence itself. Kai barely nods, already turning his thoughts toward their greater purpose.
Now to navigate the voyages to pierce layer after layer of defenses keeping us from our goal.
Scene 11. The Lost Garden. Weeks blur by as our battered heroes ply perilous routes through the fractured expanses of the metaverse. Strange worlds careen past in a kaleidoscopic phantasmagoria of indescribable beauty and madness. Any hints we're drawing nearer, mystic guide? My feet seem to have left a trail of bloodied blisters across 1,000 shattered dreams.
Yes, though where we tread strays deep into the myth spheres.
The refracted celestial matter parts as they crest a series of psychedelic ridges. A verdant realm of resplendent, towering flora unfolds, seeming to draw vibrancy from the very firmaments above. Baxter gapes in astonished wonder as they descend from rocky outcroppings into the lush, fragrant Eden. I'll be the king of fools. Is this what mortals once called paradise? Kai's eyes narrow, an edge of caution tinging his reply.
More a recreation, shaped by mankind's first notions of divinity and the heavenly.
Beautiful, but rife with peril should one indulge in its...
An alluring feminine form manifests amidst the sylvan splendor. Hair of autumnal fire and eyes like ageless emeralds. She favors them with a beckoning smile.
Welcome, weary travelers. Rest your spirits amidst our humble garden. Refresh yourselves with its bounty.
Baxter instantly steps forward, entranced by the figure's radiant, fey beauty. Why, I'd be delighted. Vision of loveliness. Kai seizes Baxter's arm with bruising force, halting his advance. Outrage joins bewilderment on the pirate's weathered features. Scene 12. Seduced by paradise. Baxter, wrenching free. What devilry is this? Kai hisses in warning as the emerald-eyed vision drifts closer, trailing petals and sweet ambrosia on the crisp, floral-scented breeze.
Calm your rage, mortals. You stand upon the threshold of Eden's refuge, the original paradise conceived by your ancestors' reverence across innumerable ages.
Her captivating features take on a sly, beckoning cast.
All hungers of flesh and spirit find satiation here. Enter fully into our blessed demesne, and know life's deepest raptures.
Baxter feels the haze of enchantment weighing heavier, and drawn toward the proffered sensuality. He turns to find Kai, only to blink in consternation. In his companion's place stands a magnificent horned steed of obsidian carapace and gleaming onyx hooves. Its eyes burn with celestial blue fire.
Break free of her glamours. That path leads only to oblivion of self. The garden is one final snare on our quest.
Baxter shakes his head, scorning the equine entity's warnings as he sinks deeper under the alluring paradigm radiating all around them. Lush fronds caress his body like serene, inviting temptresses.
Yes, blissful indulgence. Why have I struggled against fate's call for so long?
The radiant feminine form, one of the primordial Eden's mythical guides, folds slender arms around a transfixed Baxter, whispering profane whispers of rapturous release. Not far away, the obsidian equine avatar lowers its horned muzzle in a grave, stoic bow. As if in silent benediction, its azure irises blaze like binary stars amidst the verdant paradise, refusing to stray from its sworn purpose.
Scene 13, Eden's Reckoning. All across the mythical Eden, the vibrant emerald canopies darken to sickly, mottled slurs. Convoluted thorns erupt amongst the once glimmering frondscapes, strangling the ephemeral streams and crystal grottos. Baxter remains oblivious to the deepening decay, claiming the primal paradise around him. Thrall to its seductive throes, he writhes in his sensual reverie amongst illusionary pleasures. Only the onyx celestial avatar retains clarity of sight, its corona of azure flame washing transient illumination over the ever-shifting garden labyrinth. It spins in tight, controlled arcs as if seeking a hopeful locus through the deepening nightmare. From its mane of star-trailing essence, Kai's dispassionate voice resounds.
My mortal self has fallen into blissful, reductive thrall. Only by pushing through the primal truths underpinning Eden's paradigm can I bring him back from its warped raptures.
The equine figure canters forward as the thorny, mutating hedges lash hungrily against its armor of void carapace. Shimmering equations and fractal geometries blaze into being around its hooves, generating spherical distortion barriers that repel the parasitic foliage. At last it reaches a sudden clearing near Eden's epicenter. The gnarled, perverse hedges rear back from the space in petrified dismay, revealing a blighted scene of corruption. Baxter lies at the heart of a pulsing, grotesque, floral womb, tube-like vines injecting torrents of hallucinogenic effluence into his veins and orifices. He spasms violently, his essence being subverted and siphoned into the rapturous paradigm itself. Even as the cosmic equine's presence dispels some of Eden's insidious deceptions, its ghost fire irises reflect deeper truths. That paradise was never permanent paradise at all, but the original deceits of temptation and ephemeral indulgence.
This was always the risk of treading the ancient myth worlds. Painful reckonings must precede regained clarity.
With a soulful whinny, the equine form musters itself for the final confrontation with Eden's primal snares. Scene 14, the Herald's turn. Arcs of formless energy begin rippling around the cosmic steed's form. Complex fractal equations ignite across its aura as the collective weight of numberless realities and realms hears its rallying call.
An avatar takes shape, remade from the awareness that Eden only stood as symbolic threshold toward deeper truths.
The geometric displays resolve into a humanoid presence, powerfully built but also distinctly alien. It towers over the clearing, serene eyes of sublime azure, beholding the garden's snarled decadence with detached pity.
I am become the transitional vector between Paradise's illusions and the boundless voyages onward. Eden's seductions are but false kindnesses in the greater scope.
The Avatar's outstretched hands articulate pulses of unformed radiance, altering fundamentally from Eden's profanities. With keening shrieks, the thorns and putrid womb architecture instantly slough away into cinders. Baxter emerges, stunned and blinking away the lethargic fevers of temptation, as the Herald of Infinity forms a teleportation vortex behind him. It regards the pirate with impassive grandeur.
Paradise perverts the journey's essence. We now pass to metamorphosis beyond preconceptions, into a deeper dream vault from which all cosmic truth may be gleaned.
Baxter opens his mouth to protest the unearthly figure's pronouncement, and they both vanish within the swirling mandala, leaving the husk of Eden to dissipate unto anthrocosmic dust. Scene 15, the Vault Celestial. All is formless mist and starlit silence as the primordial energies dissipate around them. Baxter sways dizzily, fighting disorientation. Herald, behold the Arcanidal Vault, mortal voyager. A metadimensional refuge preserving cosmic lore from the multiverse's primogenitors. The fog parts incrementally to reveal a breathtaking panorama of ethereal subreality. Domes and repositories of resplendent fractal architectures recede in countless directions, resonant with energies so fundamental they can only be felt rather than seen by mortal senses. Hushed susurrations seem to reverberate from the vault's spires, encoded with voices spanning from the dawn of time itself. Baxter scans the surreal panorama with naked awe and trepidation. This is the source? The wellspring of all planes and realms? A distant shape manifests, rapidly resolving into the familiar lore-keeper visage of the wizened soothsayer from Baxter's era.
This celestial archive houses extracted essences and wisdom from innumerable universes cradling epochs. Each vault unfurls another tier of metaphysical genesis, preceding all matter and consciousness.
After the trials of illusionary paradise, we have at last pierced the veil obscuring the mantle's ultimate genesis.
Baxter gapes at the towering edifices, blinking star haze from his vision. Well, let's go unearth that treasure then. Be a simple affair compared to all we've weathered thus far, eh? The soothsayer gives a wan, knowing smile as the celestial vault's shadowed spires seem to lean inward, as if focusing sublime sentience on those trespassing.
Scene 16. The Architects of Reality.
From within the primal radiances sheathing the archives, kindling geometries stir like draconic leviathans surfacing from a cosmic ocean's depths. Baxter steps back instinctively, suddenly very aware of the metaphysical gravities in motion here. Alien shapes without form or discernible limit coalesce into something adjacent to sentient attention.
Identities beyond human conception draw near, weary mortals. Forces birthed before this current universe's first plasma streams cooled and formed its infant structures.
The hallowed silence shudders as another monumental presence materializes, the architect of infinity, an unfurled emanation of celestial machinery and cosmic consciousness.
Let this subverted traveler and his metaphysical aspect bear witness. You have pierced illusion upon illusion, all in pursuit of knowledge and power which your limited faculties cannot hope to comprehend or wield.
The celestial soothsayer inclines himself before the unfathomable intelligences with measured patience.
Wise architects, our quest seeks not to usurp, but to better commune with the primordial resonances enabling material form's cycle. The mantle exists as bridge between the esoteric and manifest.
Ceaseless are the intents of your kind to reduce divine complexities into convenient dogmatic totems. Possess or perish, no other path burns in the collective human psyche's legacy.
Baxter opens his mouth to fume denial at the cosmic colossus, only for the soothsayer's stern look to silence him. The architect continues its pronouncement like an eldritch solar wind.
And yet, the folly enriches those same intents, searing to the marrow of what is, rather than resigning within specious banality and entropy's inevitability.
The ambient geometries spin apart to reveal a contained cyclone of phenomenal reality energies.
The mantle's primordial genesis, locus, its incandescent power source. The spectral herald lowers his head reverently before the maelstrom while Baxter's eyes instinctively widen in awe and terror. By the gods, is that the mantle's? The architect manifests a contemptuous wave, sending ripples of godly dismissal across the vault's hallowed nexi.
None of your blasphemous cosmological fictions hold sway here. Only truth drawn from this sanctum's primordial archives may guide you to what you so fecklessly call the mantle.
Scene 17. Through the cosmic maelstrom. Every vault and monument across the infinite vastness refracts with magnified power, a syncretic awakening of energies in presence of the revealed mantle genesis.
Piercingly brilliant fractals scribe themselves across all geometries, circumscribing the towering Elohim of the architects, drawing tighter around the three heroic voyagers. As understanding dawns, the herald convenes with the soothsayer in urgent celestial communion.
The archive's full truth has been unveiled, shadowing and giving origin to all mystic totems and icons in lower domains like talismans and cloaks of power.
Herald, there is only forward momentum or negation into the primordial infinity at this juncture. We have made our choice. Baxter shields his eyes from the esoteric brilliance, close to collapsing from the spectacle searing into his soul. Everything, answers we always sought lie just realms beyond that precipice. Well, what are we mortals waiting for? The herald fixes him with an expression of serene, profound respect as the maelstrom spanning multiple dimensions tears open a corridor.
Very well, Voyager. We breach the sacred lore and emerge anew.
Intricate curves lance inward from across the archives, delineating a celestial umbilicus, drawing them all toward the spinning Genesis vortex. Baxter howls against the phenomenal tides, caressing his being as they plunge in, only to emerge upon a realm of crystalline fractal beauty so complete it defies rational description. The elder soothsayer beams with transcendent elation, while Baxter fights to maintain sanity against the revelation of secrets beyond secrets. His mind screams against uncaring infinity. But part of him has made the ultimate peace, resolving the final cosmic mystery represented by the mantle from humankind's fables. After all their struggles, he has received the last truth fueling creation itself. Scene 18, the metaverse's saga's end. From the borrowed perspectives of these mortal voyagers, we have been granted but disjointed glimpses into the grand multiverse's ultimate wellsprings. Revelation and abomination, delivered with cosmic indifference. Whither they now, standing upon reality's purest foundation, that shall remain a mystery only for them to behold, as their final chapter amongst the endless cycles becomes interwoven into immutable creation itself. For our awareness exists a lesser domain. We register rumors of their singular vision echoing through the halls haunted by fantasies of miracles and destiny, uttering echoes half-heard through moaning outer vaultways. Therefore was the mantle and the profane forces coveting its energies across realms.
But edifice is to be transcended on the path to infinite awareness's radiant perfection.
Cast off the masks, the contemptibilities of desire for power. Only guide seekers toward divinity within, reflected in every mote, every boundless sea of cosmic dust.
And thus the sagas and their protagonists pass into a greater continuum, as relevant to existence as the fabric from which all dreams arise.
The whisperings fade into unfathomable silence. Somewhere within the fractal infinitudes brooding above and below, those final voyagers witnessed the metaverse saga's unbridled resolution beyond our limited ken. For they solved the riddle of the mantle, the final answer ringing across creation for all seekers brave enough to listen. The end.